Welcome back to Baptized and Clueless. I'm your happy host, Yusuf, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Michelle, Edie. How are you doing today?
Wonderful, blessed.
Awesome. Mr. Wesley, how are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, Yusuf.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Today we're talking about a topic because I'm reading on it, so I figured good topic to talk on because it's got some social parameters that really hit home when I read
Mm-hmm.
it. And of
Mhm.
all books is back in
Mm.
Genesis. I did talk about reading Genesis the last time we spoke, and honestly, I have to say the Bible is banging. Stories, the stories. I understand where Hollywood gets their style of writing from because I'm sure the first time they heard these things, like,
Yeah,
what?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
yeah,
new under the sun. So
Yeah.
we're talking
no,
about Joseph,
listen.
not the stepfather of Jesus, not the one married to Mary. Honorable as he was, that's not
Mhm.
the Joseph we're talking about. We're talking about Joseph and that pretty dream code of his. The reason why
Yeah.
I talk about Joseph is because basically Joseph had couple situations where things went wrong, but God made good out of them.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is that he was enslaved. He wasn't born enslaved, but he got sold by his brothers, and
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
pretty much slavery. So look at it,
Hmm.
and here we are in this current time, and we're in workplaces where we talk about it's like being a slave, and you're getting paid like $60,000 to $80,000 a year. Yes, for some
Yep.
of you that's not a lot. I get it, but compared to what he was getting paid at the time, it was nothing. Right?
Mm.
Just a roof over his head,
Right.
and yet he did the work that was in front of him. Not once in the story you hear him
Hmm.
complain. And this is a man who did exceedingly well at every level of responsibility placed before him. He rose to every level in every
Hmm.
situation that was given to him. He kept his
Yeah.
heart posture holy,
Right.
relying on God.
Yeah.
The midst of being falsely accused, which we'll get into, Potiphar's wife.
Hmm.
That's me hissing. He didn't pout when he was sent to jail, right? He continued to steward well over his responsibilities. And that part right there, the stewarding well over your responsibilities, we don't have that anymore in this
Hmm.
society. People used to look back at a few
No.
generations, be like, no matter what, people did hard work. They worked hard. We know there's crooks. We
Yeah.
know people should
Yeah.
stuff, but for the most part, people did work hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
One good thing is that God's
Hmm.
favor is on us in the same manner. We are God's people, and He has a covenant with us as well, because He had a covenant with Jacob,
Right.
which is Joseph's father. The covenant is continued through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's get into it. Let's get into the simple fact that he's hated by his brothers out of jealousy. I still kind of blame Jacob for that.
Hmm.
When parents favor another child over another, it will happen. You
Yeah.
you just plant the
Yes.
seed of separation and discord, so it's going to take place.
Hmm.
Not saying they
Yeah.
should have been the way they were, but they were. Oh, another interesting fact
Yeah.
is my man Jacob, father of Joseph. Joseph is actually the son of his beloved wife, not the wife that he was forced to marry.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
funny that
His favorite wife
that's
bore his
right,
favorite
his favorite
son.
right, or his favorite son. She was barren and she had Joseph, so he loved this kid. Like, oh my gosh, I finally got the son I wanted
Yeah.
with the woman I wanted.
Hmm.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
whole other story. And so
Yep.
his jealous brothers, based on those kind of things, did what they did to him, got him sold. He gets resold in Egypt to Potiphar. Potiphar is a
Hmm.
commander. He's like pretty much running things in where he's at. And he does exceedingly well with Potiphar.
Yeah.
Moves up in ranks in
Yeah.
several different things, and he's controlling more than he should, because one, he's not Egyptian, two, he's a slave, and he's got more
Mm-hmm.
power than anyone else. So when it comes to just being given responsibilities to do little things, do you guys see
Hmm.
the importance of, no matter how small the situation is or how big the situation, the same effort needs to be put into it? Do you think that's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that's a problem now in society, or do you still think people understand it and do the best they can for everything?
Yeah.
Right.
I believe. Yeah, I believe it's very important because like you said, yeah, I think in today's society we tend to overlook those things.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to look at the big things, like the big responsibilities, like, oh, like um let's say, for example, in the church, right? Like, you look at the singers, like the worship leaders, you look at the pastor, you look at those people, but you tend to overlook like the ushers and those
the
like
sound guy,
the sound guy, like
discreet.
those
Yeah,
those people that are in the behind the scenes that don't really get much attention, but they are really important in the church.
yeah.
And so that goes back to your question about like do we need to store over those small responsibilities? And I believe we do. We do.
100%.
I think that's where God ends up, developing us is by giving us those small responsibilities, and then
That's where he puts the
when
test.
yeah, and then when he sees that we are doing good with those responsibilities, then he will give us better more responsibilities.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, that reminds me of the another story with the master and his three servants given the talents.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And the master already showed you who he didn't trust by giving you one talent. And he's like, you are probably lazy. You're gonna probably lose it. Here's mine. He didn't lose it, but he didn't multiply it either, and got kicked
Yeah.
out the same way. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely you'll be given what you've shown you can handle.
Right. Yeah.
That's just that's it.
Right.
And I think that's the good thing about God too, is that he understands that not all his children can handle um equal responsibilities, so he knows how much we can handle based on how he created us to be. And so he knows that if he like imagine if like going back to the master and the three servants, imagine if the master gave the one the wicked servant, imagine if he gave him like the 10 10
Yeah,
the 10 talents.
Talent.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he would most definitely like have wasted it. Like
yeah. Who knows? Maybe it was more. He would have done worse because at least with the one he only hit it. He didn't
yeah,
throw it.
true.
Imagine with 10, who knows what his mindset would have been?
Overwhelmed.
Ooh.
Overwhelmed. Yeah. Overwhelmed.
True.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, now, as we know, there was a point that I had with Joe because, of course, his story is interesting, and obviously he's going through the motions at work,
Mm.
at the water hole, getting his coffee, clicking his keyboard.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm bringing Joseph to modern day times, right? Still doing the thing, but speaking personally, that's what would be me. I'd be like waiting for when's the first break? When's lunch? It's almost 3 o'clock. It's time to go home. Joseph didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's what we do, and he wasn't going back to a comfy bed when when he first started it, right?
Oh, for
He did the
real.
work. He did the
Right.
work, and he's doing so extremely well. And the control he had, it's like he pretty much could do anything in the place without being questioned. He's no longer being watched as someone that could be trusted,
Yeah.
and that's something that people need to understand. God is about character.
Mm-hmm.
Character shows who you really are.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hugely about
The fruits of the spirit. I could talk about this all day.
You talk about it all the time, man.
I sure do. If you can talk about you're a lost Christian, you don't know what to do, and blah 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 blah, focus on those 9.
Mm-hmm.
Produce the fruit. That's all.
That's it. You focus on
Yeah.
those 9, you'll be walking good.
Yeah.
Because even if you start to get a little, big headed and selfish, or you start getting a little conceited, you'll be convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. It's like it's a hard walk being a Christian because of all the things you gotta eventually recognize that you can't do anymore or shouldn't do anymore because it leads to things that you don't want in your life. But overall, the lessons in it's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
straightforward, but it's kind of hard when you've been bathing in sin for so long. And now you gotta
Yes.
stop. Ask someone who's been eating sugar for 9 years to stop eating sugar. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a sugar addict, right? So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we go to like as we are talking about the story of Joseph, like one thing I was just thinking about was, though that time that, he was taken, as a slave, right? And how you say, he was just doing his work. Like, I know you talk about character, like even in that, we know that God was developing him, in that season,
Yeah.
preparing him. And I think that's what, you know, God does in all of us,
Yeah.
he makes us go through that season where he keeps us in the dark, and he
Yes.
wants to develop us and prepare us for what's to come. Because we all know that Joseph did not know he was gonna be like second in command
No.
after Pharaoh. Like,
Yes.
he had no idea that was gonna happen.
No.
But God knew.
No.
And God was like, let me prepare Joseph in the dark while he's a slave. Let me just give him these small responsibilities,
Yeah.
interpreting dreams.
Yeah.
And, like, that was his gift, was interpreting dreams. And he used that. It was that very gift that God allowed Joseph to be elevated, second in command.
Well, that's one of his gifts because he's also very wise. And
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
thing about the story is that you don't get to see that. Only thing you got to see was his dreams. And he just figured, oh, God bless him with a dream, not knowing that he could interpret. And he interprets very accurate. Actually, he did state a dream to his brothers, which they didn't like.
Oh, yeah, they definitely didn't
He
like
pretty much dream interpreted that you guys are gonna serve me, which I don't know why he thought it would go over well, but
that was him being immature at the time.
at the time, very true, because you're not doing the work, you're not on the field.
That's spiritual. That's spiritual immaturity.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
Spiritual immaturity, which they talk about all the time, is that when you have spiritual immaturity, it takes certain circumstances for you to go through to refine that spiritual maturity. And one of those things about spiritual maturity is knowing the discernment of when to speak and when to not speak. You didn't have that yet.
I'm learning. Show.
No personal attack, just revelation.
It's for each of us, man.
I'm
Listen, I'm going through that season right now. I'm always in that learning process of recognizing my spiritual discernment.
Like, when are we not? I feel like the lessons will keep coming, and we'll just learn them better and do the offense less.
Yeah.
It's needed all the time, right? One of the things that we're talking about, dream interpretation, the time when before this took place, when Potiphar, the one who was now the master for Joseph, he had a wife, and I assumed the wife was fine because they thought Joseph, right? Joseph was pretty much a broad, strapping man. He was good looking, and so obviously he caught her eye, and his response to her was, she's like, "Come, sleep with me." And he's like, "Nah, I can't do that. Master's giving me everything to do. I have access to everything except for you. I could not do that to him."
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that he says, except for you, it's not like a full out rejection, like, nah, you idiots. He's like, I have full access to everything. It's like almost like if he wasn't in that position, you are a beautiful woman that I would down. And every time I come across the women in the Bible that are like this, I'm like, just remember, there are really good women in the Bible. You gotta think what the story is. There are some super villain females in the Bible, and they don't do things like destroy buildings and tear down mountains. It's just the little thing that just
little things. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but often they just get close enough to a man to destroy him.
Look at Delilah.
That's literally it.
Delilah's just one. There's tons of them.
Yeah.
But with this particular woman, the wife of Potiphar, she's like, "Oh, you're not gonna sleep with me?" And he was turning it down for like weeks. It wasn't a one-off. She kept asking, and I guess because she kept asking, she got a little desperate. My guy ran out one time when she grabbed him, and she got a piece of his robe while he ran out, screaming.
Man,
Joseph only screams 2 times in stories. Time, and it's funny enough, this time when he screamed, as much as he was in fear, no one could they heard him scream. She claimed that she's the one that screamed, and that's why he ran when she told her husband to lie. But the other time that Joseph screamed, there was no mistake, and it's when, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you the story. It's when his father Jacob dies, and he screams, and the whole house hears it.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
such grief and pain.
yeah. Grief, yeah.
Well, back to this liar. She tells the story, and her husband doesn't ask the questions because, let's face it, husband's like, I'm going to take the word of my wife over this person I don't really know. And the truth is, he knew
Yeah.
Joseph better than he knew his wife. Joseph was
Ouch.
consistent in who his character was, never taking anything, never lying. No one had
I
anything bad
actually
to say
challenge
about him.
you on that one.
Please do.
I challenge you on that one to say that he knew Joseph better than he knew his wife.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think that's true. I think as a man, he actually knew the character of his wife, but he knew positionally and hierarchy who he was supposed to show loyalty to.
He could have done without
Because
being
I don't
arrogant.
believe that he had a wife who was scandalous like that and he didn't notice.
He left. He left the servant that was handsome and strapping to be around her. At the end of the day, when he was told about the incident, he was angry.
Yeah.
You know you got that kind of. If you know you got that kind of a hussy in your house, you're like, figures. Sorry, Joseph, gotta say the message.
Yeah. And
Joseph had his back at all times. So.
and like I know that like when I was reading that part, I remember I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, I can only imagine how convincing that story must have been that she told to um Pharaoh, like Potiphar, I mean,
Yeah.
Potiphar. And because I mean, at the end of the day, she did have Joseph's robe. I mean, I think that sold it right there.
By the way,
And
it's the second time that happened.
Right.
Was it the first time? But that's not the first time that happened. That's happened before. I
Right.
can't remember if it was the stories before or after, but another woman did the same thing. A
Mm.
daughter-in-law. And she
Mhm.
made sure she had a piece of clothing to confirm who the
Yeah.
was going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
And
that story another time.
yeah. And I believe like what you guys are addressing, like what you're addressing, Yusuf, about how Potiphar probably knew Joseph's character, and probably I'm pretty sure probably a thought when it, he would think that, why would Joseph do this? Like he probably, I'm pretty sure he probably would have thought that, but at the same time, it's like,
Confused because he knows his character is good.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, he had to believe his wife. So,
Yeah. No,
mm,
it's not happening.
yeah,
No. You got to know your wife's character. And you know your wife said that, you got to find a way to handle it. But anyway, that was then. That was before therapists and TV shows showing the truth.
yeah,
So Joseph gets sent to jail, of course, and when he gets sent to jail, he's like, "Oh man, again, here's this man thrown into jail again for something he didn't do.
hmm
He did nothing to his
Right.
brothers, got sold into slavery, and he's gone to another land. He's pretty much a prisoner. Now
yeah,
he gets thrown into jail
Yeah.
directly, and again, God's hand is on him, of course, because God doesn't take his hand off. The potter does not release the clay.
mm,
He's still
Right.
forming him and the situation around him. Still
Mhm.
spinning his wheel because it's God, consistent. And so now he's in prison, and you imagine you're the last guy in, and before you know it, Tutu's God's favor that continues on him, because even though God's favor is on him, he still has to be accepted in the sense of his heart posture did not change. He knows he's
yeah,
wrongfully accused in prison. He's not going to the prison guard like, I can't be over here, and this is some crock, and starts spreading the rumor or the truth of what really happened. He kept his mouth shut.
Right.
And before you know it, the head jailer is like, this guy is solid. And ever since he's been here, the jail's been cool. There's been no issues.
Yeah.
Bro, do your thing. Talk to people. Do what you got to do. That jailer had to eat his job for the time that Joseph was there.
Yes.
yeah. He actually gave the responsibility to Joseph.
Exactly. Now, here's the crazy thing. When we are wronged, we want vindication ASAP.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time, not as much today, but yesterday and before.
I love that.
If I know I'm wrongly accused, no. If I
Give me a
know,
lawyer.
if I know I'm mischaracterized, no. Like,
Yeah.
especially at work, no.
Mm.
I can tell you some stories. VP to
Mm-hmm.
the directors, I can tell you some stories. But anyways, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I could just go back to the Potiphar's wife situation. like a thought came to me, like how much self-control Joseph had in that moment, because I know we talked about this before in one of our other episodes,
Yeah.
but like how many men would have failed in that moment?
Failed.
Like, yeah.
Not me personally, because I'm not trying to my life. No, I'm good with this life. I can do without it.
Like,
I'd have pulled a fast one. I'd have told her something like, "Oh, well, wait, let me go get my my $1300 back." Never come back.
yeah, yeah, because
Out.
it wasn't just one time that
No.
Joseph denied her. It was multiple times.
Yeah.
And like you said, Yusuf, I'm pretty sure Potiphar's wife was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, like, how much self-control that Joseph had. And I remember I remember I read this before, where they said that when Joseph addressed Potiphar's wife and told him that I can't do this, like it would be a sin against God. Like he mentioned God. He didn't even mention like, oh, I can't do this because you're Potiphar's wife, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to.
Sinful act, nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do
Right.
this to Potiphar.
Yeah.
But he said I don't want to sin against God. And so it's like, man, like God knew Joseph's heart, and that's why Joseph was chosen over his brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, those guys are wretched, but there's a reason for it too. There's a reason for it. They got conceived and
I
into this
think
world unwillingly. Like the man knows.
I
Mm,
think in a lot of ways Joseph actually inherited a level of spiritual authority from his father.
Yeah.
That work ethic, that character
The work.
of
Yeah.
integrity and accountability. He
100%.
inherited it, and I think we can see little glimpses of it when we hear the story of his childhood and the
Yeah.
way that his brothers mocked him, and he still stood up in a righteous way. He never tried to retaliate. At least I don't recall any parts where he was trying to retaliate against his brother.
Good.
right.
It's
Yeah, that's
almost
why
like he was.
he would have got a beat down.
Yeah, but even being the youngest one, I know my youngest is like
Verbally, yeah. Verbally, you can see that.
they could still retaliate
Yeah.
and show bad character, but Joseph, so to me, I just always recall him having good character even as a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
He got it from somewhere, and
Yeah.
then God puts you through this refining and that crushing, and I think that moment was a part of many moments there, um under the ruling of Potiphar,
Mhm.
of Pharaoh, sorry,
Yeah.
where he was constantly being tested. His character was constantly being tested, and he understood intrinsically. It was a part of his like DNA, the authority that God had already given to him that he didn't even necessarily understand. He knew, I must stand in good character. I don't know why I need to stand in good character, but I must stand in good character. And it
Mhm.
led him to a place he never expected, but it was just something inside of him. That authority of God was in him. He knew
Yeah. It's more
that
important
in
to
all
keep the dark.
circumstances, whether I'm being tempted by a woman or whether it be about the integrity of the work I produce, I have
Yeah.
to stand in integrity and God's authority.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Mm. You know, like I I remember I know we didn't get this far yet, but
Then
like
let me get to the jail part then.
okay.
The homeboy's in jail and he gets two new cellmates. The
Dun,
cupbearer
dun, dun.
and the baker. Now the cupbearer is a strange name, but it literally is what he does. He bears a cup to the king, which is Pharaoh.
Mhm.
They got sent. They don't get into details as to why they got pulled. Maybe someone found a hair in his cup, and the baker probably made something that didn't have enough sugar. Who knows? They get sent to
Yeah.
jail. They get sent to jail, and these guys are like, "Man, I'm in jail." One day, Joseph asked him, like, "Why face so long?" I'm like, "Just to show you just how Joseph's mind is at. They're in prison with you, bro, and you're asking why their face is so long." Because to him, it takes delight in everything he does. He's not letting the circumstance get to him. He's doing what he
Yeah.
needs to do there.
Yeah, yes.
By this time, he's
Mhm.
got moved up in the. There was no jailhouse rank, by the way, but somehow there's a jailhouse rank, and he's at the top, just underneath the guard.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the two men, like, they had dreams. Now the baker was a little hesitant to give the story with the cupbearer, love for chat. So he
Mhm.
like told us a story about the dream he had,
Yeah.
and uh, the bomb lands that Joe's like, well, when you tell me I can't interpret it, but God will be able to.
Yeah.
Again, his heart posture is always giving God the props,
Yeah. The props. Yeah.
and that's something that I know I need to learn. I'm
Right.
so used to like, oh, I can draw well, or I can sing okay,
Mhm.
or what?
Yeah.
Give it to God at the end of the day
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's who creates everything for you. So, anyways, Cupbearer tells his dream. His dream is regarding him being released early as it gets interpreted from Joseph. Yes, I'm skipping the details. I'm trying to get along with this.
Yeah. Because it was a lot of dream details that he gave.
Yes. But the bottom line is that Joseph tells him, hey, you're going to be released in 3 days and you'll be back to your position you had serving a cup to Pharaoh. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, that sounds good. Baker's like, yo, that sounds good. Baker's like, yeah, I also had something to do with, and he gives his dream, and the interpretation is not as favorable. It's like, oh, in 3 days, he be impaled by, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh. And I'm
Joseph did not
sure,
sugarcoat it, man.
right? I'm sure that the Baker's like, if I just kept my mouth shut, I wouldn't know what was coming. Because now he's got to fret for the next 3 days for this to be true. He's hoping that Joseph doesn't have the gift of interpretation correctly.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how his heart
He
sunk
was wrong.
when 3 days they get released? He's like, oh, maybe it's a coincidence. But then he
Mm.
sees the cupbearer is back at his position. Like, I'm running out that palace.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm not coming back. Send the chairs to come look for me, but I'm not gonna be there. Like,
Yeah.
that must have been terrifying. Like, I didn't think about that till now. Think about things about knowing the future and stuff. It's not always what you want to see, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, if I was Joseph in that moment, I probably would have kept my mouth shut and not even
no.
tell him his dream.
When you're an honest person, he's like, no, you asked someone to tell you. And
Yeah.
and part I almost missed is before they got released, Joseph says to them, hey, here's my story. This is the first time he's telling it to somebody. I was
Mm.
accused. I didn't do what I'm accused of. Please remember me
Yeah.
when you get released. Hook
Yeah.
up a brother. I just, hooked you up, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure when the cupbearer was released, whatnot, he's all ecstatic and happy. Like the Bible
Mm-hmm.
just puts it simply. It doesn't say it's anything malicious, just that the cupbearer forgot.
Yeah, the cupbearer forgot.
He
Yeah.
forgot in 3 days' time. So I'm like, oh man, he forgets. And first thought is like, what is selfish? But as I was writing it down, I was like, the cupbearer's amnesia was lifted by God. Because the thing is that even though he didn't remember in 3 days' time,
Mm-hmm.
2 years later, when
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh has dreams, dealing with the number 7,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Skinny cows and fat cows. The skinny cow, the
Yeah.
fat cows and skinny cows. Skinny cows devour the fat cows, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's saying this while the cupbearer, who's pretty much like the person that's gonna always be near him because the Pharaoh's thirsty all the time. So he gets privilege of being beside this
Mm-hmm.
man all the time. And the Pharaoh says it's dream, but no one can interpret it. Da, da, da. If only someone could. And that's when God's like, amnesia lift. Cupbearer,
Yeah.
it's time for you to step up. And Cupbearer's like, oh, man, I just remembered. There's a Hebrew in prison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Years
Like,
later.
Yeah.
exactly. Like, he may have forgotten it during the 3 days, but he remembered 2 years later because God made sure he remembered. And he said
Mm.
that in the most
Right.
timely manner. Maybe if he said it before, it would be like, I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't have no dream that needs to be interpreted. And everyone would have forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But at this time,
I mean,
they remember, and he's like, send for him. And they don't just send him and they bring up this raggedy this raggedy prisoner. He gets to bathe and shave to be presentable in front of Pharaoh. I'm like, yeah,
yep.
more favor, eh?
Come, come sharp, sharp.
Yeah, looking sweet, feeling nice. So he goes in, and Pharaoh's like, I heard that you can interpret dreams, da, 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 da. And again, Joseph says humbly, I can't interpret anything, but God can.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This guy's heart posture, his humility, the consistency. We walk around every day in our Christian life and we're so inconsistent. Yesterday
Mm-hmm.
I'm good, and today I'm cussing somebody off in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be swear words, but it didn't curse him. People was like, I can't believe it. This person
Mhm.
would think I'm gonna
Right.
pick that up when they dropped it. Right?
Mm.
My heart posture is completely out. But yesterday I was like, thank you, Lord, for this and that, this and that. Joseph has none of those that we can see.
Yeah.
Mm.
His work, his fruit is consistent. And so he interprets
Yeah.
the famine for the 7 years of fatness, 7 years of famine.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
I'll go further with his wisdom, because that wisdom right there, man, if you could pay for wisdom, I'd
Mhm.
buy it all.
Yeah.
Right.
The wisdom he has to say to Pharaoh, it says it so. And anyone else telling a story in modern day, it would be like Joseph's being cunning. But
Yeah.
once he tells the Pharaoh what's going to happen with the feast and the famine, he doesn't just say,
Hmm.
you know, someone like me, I've got the skills to do that. He says, now you should find someone who will be able to go ahead and do what's needed to do
Yeah.
to steward over these 14 years, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Right.
Nowhere in the scripture saying that he was looking to get a position. For all you know, he's looking to go back to jail. Like, hey, I presented what I need to present. This is what God
Shame.
do.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what he was trying to do.
But
Mm.
he says it so humbly to Pharaoh. Pharaoh's like, wait, I know a person like that. You. It's like,
You.
wait a
Yeah.
minute, Pharaoh. You're so brilliant. I don't know how you figured it out, but you are awesome. I'm like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why he gets favor as well, because he's so
Mm.
consistently humble.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, you're the person that's going to take care
Yeah.
of the situation. You're the one that got
Yeah.
told what to do. And one thing I'm finding about the Bible
Right.
consistently, people who are not Hebrews, people who are not followers of God, because at the time I can't say Christ was there yet. And the fact that they see God's hand on you, they're like, surely God's hand is on you. And this is why he's
Mm.
getting to be in charge of things, because they see God's with this man. That kind of gift,
Yeah.
whoever the Pharaoh was worshiping was not doing it, and he knows it.
Mm.
But I think back
Right.
to that in those days, if you weren't a Hebrew, there was no promise for you.
Mm.
So there was
Mm.
no conversion for anyone to be like, I want to follow your God, because they're like, oh, it's the God of your people, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Pharaoh does one up compared to what Potiphar did. Potiphar said, yeah, you're in control of this section over here with these people over here, and you can do this, that. You can do pretty much everything under me. Pharaoh says, you can do everything in the whole of Egypt
Yep.
in respect to my throne. That's the only thing. You can't have that.
That's real favor. That's real favor.
Real favor.
All
Yep.
Pharaoh had to do was eat grapes and drink wine. He didn't have to do nothing else. Even
Mm.
when the people came to him for stuff, he's like, go talk to Joseph. He'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Man,
You
that's
know,
crazy, man.
in today's world, that's true leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
As opposed to being jealous that, oh, this person did it. No, it's like, oh, I got the smartest person on my team. Oh, by all means, let me keep him close.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm.
I make him happy
Yeah.
while he's doing that work, my whole
Mm.
department's gonna shine. Why are
Yeah.
you jealous of
Yeah.
the person trying to get rid of them or ruin their work, whatnot? No. You can't have my job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the manager, but I'll make you supervisor.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you will be
And you
able to
know,
control the role.
That was the first thing I thought of when we talked about this subject. When we
and
talked
you
about
know,
this topic.
Exactly.
and you know the thing is like, um, the like Potiphar and Pharaoh, like they saw how God was using Joseph.
Mm.
And so because they saw how God was using Joseph, that's why they kept him close, because everything that around them was prospering. And
Exactly.
so and I think that's what God wants. It's like
Yeah.
God wants us to depend on him so much that people will see that God is operating in us, you know? So
Yeah.
that's why that's why the favor was so great on Joseph, because everything he did, he gave glory to God. Like he didn't take it for himself. He gave all the credit to God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Wes hit that right on the nail.
He
That's
did.
it.
When they said that, I just had a thought, like, if you're being praised and worshiped, you're doing something.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, they
Yeah.
saw God's hand was on him. They're like, oh, Joseph's great, but they knew why, because he never minced words.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not once he say, yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it, but God can do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to start having that kind of heart posture.
For real though. For real.
Because what is it for me or any one of us to gain popularity with man? Who cares?
Yeah.
They're the first ones trying to cancel you.
It's 100% true. Men is the first one trying to cancel you.
Exactly.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
will tell you a few of those things. They cancel. They want to cancel that man out so bad they lied on him for him to die.
Man.
That's the culture we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as we know, Joseph does what he's supposed to do, and he takes care of the feast and famine. When the years are good, he went around all of Egypt and made sure everything was fat up. Got all the crops he needed, everything that put in the store's house, took care of everything. Now, another thing I realized is that he obviously learned how to farm. He obviously knew about food and crops. Because Jacob, his father, was a great farmer.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Because a quick segue, Jacob runs from his brother Esau because of what he and his mother did. While he's traveling, he sees a woman who's being said, "Oh, she's nice." Who's your dad? And she starts telling him, he's like, "Oh, I said that's family." Now I'm sure that he'd be like, "That's family." But and he goes to meet who turned out to be his uncle. Can't remember the uncle's name, but I'm not really happy with the uncle.
Laban.
Yeah.
Laban, that's it.
Yeah.
Laban.
Good memory.
Laban, who did not want to do labor. But anyways, so Laban's like, "Yo, what's up?" And they discuss like, "Oh, you are family." He's like, "Hey, I'm interested in your daughter, the one that was out in the field." So Laban clearly knows who it is. Laban,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Laban rubbing his chin because he's got a beard, right? And two, Jacob just offers the price. I don't know why he did that. Obviously, he did not go to negotiation school. Raph's like, "I will work 7 years for you for a hand in marriage."
Yeah.
Laban's like, 7? I was good at 2. Bet.
Yep.
Takes him for the offer. And during this time out, Laban knows which house he's from. He knows that God is with them as a family. He doesn't know just how favored Jacob is. And Jacob applies this man's everything.
Everything.
All his stock, all his wheat, everything. It's just multiplied. And he's like, "Surely you are blessed by God." He's like, "Yeah, I got a good one." 7 years comes to a close, and Joe's like, "Hey, I'm ready." He's like, "There's one thing. You see, I do have 2 daughters, and there's one that's older. I know, but our tradition can't have you marry the younger one. Me right there, pull a cane. I'll be honest with you. I'll pull a cane."
And the thing is, he said it after he tricked him.
Years. He didn't come before and be like, "Hey, listen,
the deal was made.
You have to have both my girls, but this is how you have to do it then. Split this many years to this one and split." Then the guy would have known and be like, "Okay, you know what, this is what I gotta do. I'll do it." He himself, his heart was in the right place. He didn't do a cane like I would have. He didn't take him out.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. And he went with and he was willing to do the next 7 years.
"Oh, this is it." Because one part I did miss, there was a sleeping incident, was there not? Seems to be a
there was. That's what. Yeah.
He was supposed.
And he mentioned it after.
Right. He was waiting in the tent for the young one that he saw, that his eyes desired, his loins yelled for. He's waiting there. Obviously, it had to be nighttime, and you know there's no light poles, there's no electricity, so you can't see nothing. And I'm gonna call her Hulga because I'm like, he didn't want her, so I'm gonna assume her name was Hulga because she was like,
man.
But she was not his cup of tea. I'm not gonna say she was hideous, but she wasn't his cup of tea. And she came lumping in. But honestly, she wasn't that different from her sister because he couldn't tell. He's never been with his sister, but it's not like she was of a different size or different height, different kind of hair. Like he could.
Oh yeah.
Right, and he's seen the sister every day for 7 years, so he couldn't tell the difference. So she comes in the tent and does her thing, and then that's why the next day it's like we're like, "Oh, yeah, you didn't sleep with the right one, and you gotta marry the first one anyways." So he doesn't bat an eye. He does it, but of course, Laban's like, "Oh, if you want the second daughter, work another 7 years for me."
Yep.
You know where Laban's heart is. It's like, Make me fruitful again for 7 years. Give me more abundance like you've already
Yeah.
given. And then you can have my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though the original bet was probably for 2 years, we're gonna get you into 14 years now.
Yeah. Like, talk about the banking system. Oh my gosh, I just
Oh
thought
my
about that.
gosh.
It's like, yeah. You got it off. You can pay it off in 10 years. But you know what though? You're in debt. Why
Mhm.
don't we refinance it for another 10?
Man,
Mhm.
Now you're in there for 20 years. You're like, what?
that's changing that to modern terms now.
That's exactly what I'm talking about though.
Right.
It was
Yeah,
like that because he didn't have to drop another 7 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
7 years is because in Jacob's heart is like, she's worth the 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what was the other sister like? I got 2 weeks. I'll put in 2 weeks worth. I'll get the sister. Well, he didn't.
2 weeks and give me that paycheck.
Yeah.
Laban is his uncle and now his father-in-law because now he's married to
Mm.
the first one.
Mhm.
Another 7 years pass, he
Right.
gets the second one. And bottom line is that even when time came, I'm going to skip forward that he needed to leave Laban, he was still trying to leave
Mhm.
on good terms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still ended up giving him the best sheep and flocks. He made sure he took out all the spotted ones so everything's like cool and clear.
Yeah.
Laban is the one that was kept taking
Mhm.
advantage. But, he got out of that situation, and now Jacob has his sons and whatnot. And back to what we were saying earlier
Right.
with 2 sons came from Rachel, which is who he loved, his first Joseph, and Joseph was close to his
Yeah.
natural brother from the same mother. The others were from the woman he didn't really like, which is his sister, aka
Mhm.
Huldah.
Right.
So you kind of understand now, like, why these brothers may be a little different.
Yeah.
Conceived in a way that
Mhm.
wasn't wanted. They were conceived in a way that was under
Right.
trickery. They're part of a marriage that they have nothing to do with it, mind you. But you see how things trickle down based on how we make decisions and how we move in life.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing I'm taking out of this is that, even in this mess of a situation, like God still kept his
Mhm.
promise, that he gave
Mhm.
to Abraham, and it was passed down. It was passed down to Isaac, and then it was passed down to Jacob,
Mm.
like that he would multiply his descendants. Because
Exactly.
yeah, this situation, like even in all this, God still used it for his good, so
Right.
No, that's 100%, and that's the lesson we need from this. It's like God will use every situation. No situation is too great for God. It can't get out of hand where God can't
Mhm.
control it. He
mm,
finds everything gonna, and sometimes the mess that we make, He's gonna weave a different story.
yeah,
He's one that's gonna
Right.
make the best sense to him, and come up with the best outcome for him.
yeah, yeah,
And
Yeah.
no one can say that's selfish because at the end of the day, He's giving us more than what we can ever give Him. So if He wants to weave a story in a certain way, let Him weave. Who am I
yeah,
to argue with
yeah,
that? So
mm-hmm,
the story of Joseph is amazing, and Jacob, but the lineage is like consistent.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Abraham
and
is just consistent.
and the lesson we could also take out of it is that, you know, Joseph's heart was in the right place, and we all dream of having that type of heart.
Yeah, it's what we can actually strive and
Yeah.
work for.
Yeah,
You may just have a farm, you may have a particular job, you may not have a farm, but you may have a particular skill set you can use towards God's kingdom. Like, how does
mm-hmm.
it tie in?
Yeah.
I'm glad that Joseph didn't turn around and start charging people like Miss Cleo for the visions. But anyways, on that note, I want to thank everyone again for listening to this episode of Baptized and Clueless. Again, it's about giving God the glory.
Yes.
And even though the second title of this was Toxic Workplace, no matter where you are in life, things aren't going to work out the way you want to work out based on the situation you're in. But what's the best way you can handle it is what you need to focus on, and how does it honor God?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Right.
he'll straighten the situation up and you up, and the people around you who are trying to mess with you, he'll deal with them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he
Just
will.
another time.
Yeah.
So, thank you all again for this episode. And join us back next week when we have another topic of great conversation. We appreciate you guys coming out. Everyone have a great one.
Yes. Take care.
Have a good one.